Moving to the third section of tonight's meeting. 今天的第三个部分是评估的部分 evaluation part. Again, this is one of the most important part of the meeting because we have to know what you're good and what you're not good and what you need to work on. Okay, and that's why we have all these evaluators and functionary roles going to help us. So first one that we're going to welcome is going to be our evaluator for the first speaker, which is Alberto. So we're going to go ahead and welcome Andy. Andy first.
Andy.
Thank you.
So tonight Alberto spoke about from the Competent Communication number 5, Your Body Speaks. So there's a lot of emphasis on gesture. There's a lot of emphasis on eye contact. There's a lot of emphasis on movement. But, as always, these are always auxiliary functions or auxiliary features of the emotive impact of the speech. So what I want to say about Alberto's speech tonight is, first of all, his theme was big. He took a theme that always works in Toastmasters. He talked about his life. He talked about his experiences as a child. He talked about how it shaped his life. That always engages the audience. And the more you engage them by revealing what you say about your life, the more involved they get emotionally in your story. And that's the key thing about giving any speech. You've got to create a story that the audience will participate in. They'll accept your premises and they'll participate in what you're trying to convey. And Alberto did that by setting up this story. He talked about his experience. And that experience of dealing with multiple languages, of Spanish problems, English problems, how it affected him, this really reflects, again, some of the same features that Jaime talked about in his speech. You know, sense of worth, sense of development, sense of participation. Those are all evocative themes, and you know, they were very well conveyed. Also, Alberto used his gestures, used his eye movement very effectively, and he combined appropriate gestures with his theme. He established a goal my comment about his speech would be this. His theme was excellent. His approach was very good. He met the objectives of the chapter. The only thing I would suggest is that lay out the goal of your speech at the beginning a little more clearly. We weren't sure where you were going from the beginning because you started talking about your childhood, but we weren't really sure where that was going to take you. So I would just suggest that focus on, make it very clear in your mind where you want to take the audience, tell them where you're going to take them, and then take them there. Because if you lead into it a little too much, we're waiting to find out where we're going. That's about my only suggestion. You tended to walk around a little bit too far in your gestures. You got clear out here a couple of times. And that's, you know, a little bit hard to, because we're kind of following you around. Wait, well, why is he going clear out there? But it's okay. Generally speaking, your movement is good. That's all I have to say. Thanks very much.
That's a great evaluation. Okay. Next one, we're going to have our VP of Education, which is Sherry. Sherry is going to be evaluating our second speaker, Jaime. So Sherry, let's welcome Sherry.
Alright, so this is really Jaime's only second speech, and he took on number 9. So just for that, I think that was worth a round of applause for it. And when we just started the speech, I think Jaime himself was debating between whether it's going to be persuasive or inspirational. And to be honest, even as a VP of Education, I don't quite know the difference between persuasion and inspiration because sometimes they're intertwined together. And I just checked the Chinese word, maybe it'll sounds better. So in Chinese, persuade 是说服别人，通常是会有一些比较具体的例子，好像你说你应该做这个做那个，好像你应该吃什么做什么或者看什么。And when inspire 是启发或者是鼓舞 ，it's more about like maybe more in the grand picture. It's rather about bullet points. It's more about like a dream or something to inspire to. So I would say his speech was more inspirational rather than persuasive because he really wanted to inspire us to just go out there, be better, with 3 points. But overall, it's a great speech, and there's definitely a lot of power. 所以还是非常说服了我们大家。So just a few things I wanted to point out. That it's supposed to be avoiding using notes. I think Jaime did a great job just having the iPad. It wasn't really that distractive, but I actually felt that you could do it just without the notes because you really know the content, and this is such a topic that's dear to your heart. You know your parents' story, and I can tell you're so proud of them as your parents, especially when you say you're so that honored to have your dad still there after 50 years in Bolivia. And I think you could have totally did it without the notes. So sometimes for everyone here, we should just try using without the notes. So even if you have the notes there with you, just kind of put it aside unless you really need it. Have it accessible, but because sometimes that's the comfort zone we have. You actually already know what's in there. And then another thing is about your opening. I think you did a great job because you said about and kind of like went into kind of joking about有一个电视剧《我的父亲母亲》很久很久以前 but I did feel like because it's persuasive, you could have done a little bit more powerful with the storytelling because your family does have a very interesting story. 你可以就好像就一下子就讲故事的最精彩的部分，就或者是让他们更觉得说你知道吗？我的父亲母亲，你觉得我像中国人，但是其实我是什么什么 ？So a little bit more to connect with audience, and also you're trying to persuade them about the immigration experience. Most people here in the audience, we're immigrants. You can also connect in that way. Bring some introduction where you can immediately, have a connection with the audience. And lastly, again, it's a great speech, especially for bilingual. You did an amazing job summarize your 3 main points into one amazing Chinese expression. If Elliot was here, she will give you a big round of applause. So, another round of applause.
Sherry.
Thanks, Elliot.
Very powerful. Thank you very much. Okay, the next portion we're gonna have our grammarian to come out and talk about the grammars, which I personally can benefit a lot from it. So let's go ahead and welcome Ting. Ting, would you please come out here?
I'm not going to be up here for very long.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was really hoping I could nail you guys on some stuff, especially you, Alberto. I was really hoping I'd nail you on a couple things, but you really almost had no mistakes at all. At the very end, you said about helping the humanity. We just say humanity, no the. That's pretty much it. Really nothing else. And you, A+ on grammar, no. Your English is pretty tight, so that's about it for me.
However, do not use the phrase, your English is pretty tight.
That's fair. That's never fair.
OK， 接下来请我们中文的，
没什么特别的意思。
接下来请我们中文的
太合适了。
Marian，喂，中文的 tone report。
No, 中文没有完。
You said to be smooth like
中
a
文
rap
的文法。
You said to be a rap
不过
artist.
这是
But that's
也可以说
perfect as a
标准。
slang. Yes, rap. Yes.
And
That
you
was
did say to be
something.
smooth like a rap artist. Those are your words.
That's true.
All right, let's go ahead and walk on to our next presenter, Kathy, for the Chinese grammarian.
今天晚上大家的中文说得很好，没有什么错误。可是我想到都是说嗨米的故事很说服大家，可以说行嗨米的故事很有说服力，也是很好的说法，是不是？说服力。
说服力。
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 说服 is a
说服大家，也可以说行。
Yeah. So 说服跟说服 they're actually one is verb, one is adjective. I think.
说服多音动词，多音字，
多音字。
说服是动词，说服是名词，不能说说服，应该是说服。
说服和说服。
这是说服的力量。
其实是说服，因为这是旧语法、旧文法和新文法。新文法应该是说服。
What have you decided?
What do you think?
Yeah, what's the grammarian thing?
Yeah.
觉得可以啊。
两个都可以，两个都可以，也可以实行说服大家，也可以实行故事很有说服力
啊，对，
说服力，说服应该只是做动词。如果说说服力做名词，应该是说服。
Baidu.
应该是可以。
好，谢谢。
Okay, 非常有说服力。All right, next one we're going to have our calendar report by Kayla. Kayla, would you please? Oh, I'm sorry. What do we have?
Okay, I'm going to assist Kathy doing the Tone Master.
Oh, you're going to be helping out with the Tone Master? Okay, so we're going to...
from north of China.
So we're going to have Toastmasters Tone Master.
Actually, everybody did really well. I'm very impressed because a lot of them, Chinese for them is not the first language, it's the second language, but I'm really impressed how well you guys did. Actually, the only thing I catch was like what Alan said, it's not 中文, it's 中文. Actually, that's the only thing.
He's from Taiwan.
I knew this was hard. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much.